games this past week where offenses only had 4 possessions first half. So you got to make the most of them. You absolutely have to make the most of them. You can't ease into a game anymore. And it's the same way on the defense as it is on the offense. You let a team go down and score on you, and you get things interesting, or you're misaligned, and it causes 5-7 yards of carry on their first drive. That's just unacceptable. So I'm just curious to see. I'm curious to see what we look like today. Cal has to run the football to be successful.
If they can stay awake, right?
Yeah, I know. But I will be awake. I assure you that. But I just we'll see. I was not happy with that first quarter sequence. I guess first drive sequence. It just kind of, I was like, man, we've had all offseason to learn how to get lined up. Hugh Freeze has been screaming about it, and after each scrimmage this fall, and we open up the first drive and we can't line up. It's just, and so it'll be interesting to see today. See if we can get lined up. But our linebacker play's got to get better, man. We got too many good teams coming down the pipeline, and we got to get better. So that's my takeaway. I know we won 59-14, but you just look at the line of scrimmage and how they ran on us that first drive. And if I'm somebody like Cal or Texas A&M coming up in a few weeks, I'm licking my chops watching that first drive of the game.
Y'all wouldn't have got that many without Red Zone Robbie now.
Oh yeah. I know. I'm not 100% sure how much I like that. Look, I want us to win, but Peyton played really good. He didn't make mistakes. Well, I say that. Hugh Freeze, I think he played 27 snaps, and all Hugh Freeze wanted to talk about was the 3 he didn't get right the other night. But I think Peyton played really well. He's very calm, doing what you're asking him to do in the offense. So I think it's been a while since Auburn's had legitimate quarterback play.
Got a question. Who does Auburn play today? They play Cal. They're going to the West Coast. Sorry, they had a question on there.
Cal. 9:30 kickoff. There it is. 9:30.
Good luck, y'all. Auburn fans. I'll be in the bed.
Well,
I wish I'd been being revival this tonight. I've been missing.
Well, Alabama. I said Alabama, but that game's coming. Auburn's coming on right after Alabama, Texas. But man, dude, I can't. It's the gift that keeps giving of Auburn and Stephen Leith and Alan Green. Stephen Leith's former president that got fired, which is almost impossible to do. Usually they resign. They're there for 8-10 years, but he literally got fired from Auburn. The guy's a lunatic, and he hired Alan Green.
Easy now.
Oh man, he was horrible. He's horrible, and so they decided to schedule Cal and do a home and home with Cal. It's like, why? I don't know why, but what do you do? It's better, I guess, for Hugh Freeze. He gets to play Cal instead of Penn State or Clemson, like Gus Malzahn did every year. Gus Malzahn. Well, I said Gus didn't play Cal or Penn State, but he had to play Washington. He opened up the season with number 6 Washington. Had to play Clemson twice. So I guess Hugh Freeze should be thankful for that, I guess. What's your takeaway with Alabama?
Offensive line. They're big. They just couldn't run the ball. I don't know. When your quarterback's got more running yards than your receiver, something's wrong. They got the offensive line. Why couldn't they run the ball? Milroe played a great game. I mean, it's improvised. I mean, he's quick. I just ain't sold on him yet. He made some good throws. Of course, that's, Middle Tennessee State, but he has some good long passes and stuff. So, I mean, hey, we'll see.
I'm really curious. I'm
just
really
the
curious
running
to see how
game.
Texas defends him today.
They're going to have a spy the whole time on him. Yeah, that's what Sark was talking. Sarkisian, I heard the thing talking. He was talking about how do you defend? He recruited him when he was at Alabama. So he's like, how do you defend it? He's a great quarterback. We're gonna have to have a spy on him. He done said that. So they got, you can't take the fact that he can run. He improvises. He can go. So yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Oh, Josh joining. What's up, Josh? Good morning.
We're just a bunch of goofy guys trying to be sports analysts. I don't know where Caleb's at. I figured he'd be here. All right, here we go. I'm going to just talk about
Sergio. Good morning, Sergio. Happy birthday boy.
I got a little thing I'm going to read here, and then we'll talk about the game. Nebraska and Colorado. It goes in lines of the games coming up. I know we got Vandy, but I ain't got it on there. But we got Nebraska and Colorado. Round 2 of the primary, Hopes at home against longtime rival Nebraska. Fresh off an upset heard around the world. Love the way after the buzz, man. They just put all kind of, just after that win. That buzz took down TCU behind some dynamic skill plays like Shedeur Sanders at quarterback, freshman receiving back Dylan Edwards, and two-way phenom Travis Hunter. Colorado was a 7.5 point. Colorado was a 7.5 point underdog. Was supposed to be against the Huskies 2 weeks ago, but the 1-0 start has it as the new fave. So what do you think? And here's Nebraska's side of it. What do you think? Are you here?
Yeah. I don't believe in Colorado. I don't care what they write. I mean, I didn't watch most of that game, but I watched a good portion of that game. And TCU, to not make any defensive adjustments to try to take away the quick game from Sanders, they did not want Sanders sitting in the pocket. Everything was quick. Everything was easy. Right? I say easy. He still had to be accurate. But you got to give him props for that. But Nebraska's not going to let him do that. Nebraska's going to play up on those receivers. And if he's going to get the ball out in 2 seconds, or, less than 2 seconds like he's doing, he's going to have to be perfect again. And I just don't – look, if he can do that all season, the guy's going to be a top 10 draft pick. But I just can't – I don't see him doing it all season. TCU was not ready. It was like they didn't even watch Sean Lewis when he was at State. They didn't even watch his offense. I mean, I was sitting there amazed how they were playing them sometimes on the defensive line, or their defensive scheme. No, again, not adjusting to it, not trying to take away the quick game. And then they missed tackles. I mean, he had 510 yards. That's one thing I'd be interested about. What's the yak yardage? Yards after catch.
Yeah, well, some of them, if you notice when they first started out, there was a little screens, a little, back pass where the receiver would come off the line like a screen pass and then go. So there was a lot of. It'd be fun to look up too. But you see, there was a lot of short passes and the receivers done all the work right. The yards after catch, there was probably a lot of them. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really see him throw the ball deep just a couple of times. So yeah, it was a little bunch of screen and screen passes and out of the backfield and stuff. So that's a good point. Yeah.
And what they did is you got to give them props because they got their players in space. TCU never adjusted. And, people forget, though, TCU had like 600 yards of offense. Their quarterback throws a red zone touchdown or interception, telegraphs it on the first, their first time down in the red zone early in that game. And then Travis Hunter just has an amazing play. And the other thing, too, is how do you expect Travis Hunter to play 130 snaps a game?
Yeah, he can't do it the whole time. I mean, he's going to do it.
I don't care how good of an athlete he is. That's a ton of snaps, man.
You're looking at.
It was amazing. He was amazing.
You're looking at, Hurt. Maybe get, you got a lot. You got to factor in. That's a lot of plays to do the game for a whole year long. Yeah, I don't see him doing it all, but right now he's working, so let him do it. Man, I guess, huh?
He was the best player of the week to me. If I want to talk about Sanders, man, Travis Hunter, that was unbelievable.
Of course. I mean, what did he have? 2 interceptions on the defense. I mean, at the goal line. 2 of them was, and then I think that one, but one of them was at the goal line. When TCU would have driven, probably would have changed the game. And he intercepted, in the end zone. Yeah. I mean, Go figure. Look at
Well,
that
that
awesome
interception,
stadium on
he's probably
TV
the-
right there. Ooh, I got. It's easy this Paul Feinbaum the best of it showing Bryant Denny. Sorry, got carried away there. My bad. Focus.
That's like that's like an Alabama fan's dream scenario. Paul Feinbaum's talking, right? Game day in Tuscaloosa. You know, it's all the people that love Alabama and say they're the greatest thing ever.
Well, Paul, I watch him when he's on, but I don't agree with everything he says. Right. All right. What's next? All right.
You're
Tulane.
the Reese Davis of this show, sir.
They ain't on yet. Where's that? The Reese Davis show.
No, I said you're the Reese Davis of the show.
Oh.
You're leading the charge.
I'm not prepared
Oh,
this
we got-
morning.
We got Ollie here. Good morning, Ollie.
I was prepared last week, and I'm getting prepared to do it. All right, Ole Miss and Tulane. What do you talk about different games, or you want to just? I don't know.
Oh, I'm excited about that game today. I think Tulane's going to win that.
Jackson Dart looked confident with his connection to transfer receiver Trey Harris in a rout against Mercer on opening day, and the Rebels returned sophomore tailback Quinshawn Judkins, the leading rusher in SEC a year ago, and a crucial piece to his offense. It's Tulane. No more Tyjae Spears after the back left for the NFL, but quarterback Michael Pratt returns this season and is off to a hot start with 4 touchdowns and 1 incompletion in the opener coming into a game the AAC champs and Cotton Bowl winners want to use to prove they belong on the same field as the Power Fives. Do they? Do they belong? Do they belong in the Power Five? Had a great season last year, or was it a fluke? Or can they prove this year?
It wasn't a fluke. Willie Fritz is a great coach.
Okay.
Willie Fritz is a great coach. And Michael Pratt, he's a top 10 quarterback in the country. The guy is good. That was always the rumor. There were 3 guys that if they entered the portal, Auburn was going to be all in on. And Michael Pratt was one of them. That kid is good. He's a very good quarterback, very good college quarterback. Team loves him. I think they're going to win today. I think they're going to beat Ole Miss outright.
Really?
Oh,
looky here.
But I don't care how good Lane Kiffin's offense is. That defense, I don't care if you hire Pete Golden, they can give him $2 million a year. It doesn't matter. I was never impressed with Pete Golden at Alabama, ever. I mean, he had the best players in the country, and I never felt like their defense was what it used to be. You know, it never felt like it was what it should be, like it was under Kirby Smart. You know, and anyways, in saying that, I think Tulane wins today. I think that it's like 52-45. It's gonna be something like the Super Bowl, or I'm sorry, the Cotton Bowl.
Really? You think
I think-
Tulane's going to put 52 points on?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. You heard it here.
Tulane's gonna score. That South Alabama team's a good team. They beat them like a drum last week. They beat them, I think it was 41-17. I mean, South Alabama had no answer on them at all, for them at all. But I do like Tulane today. I really do. Ole Miss don't have dudes on defense. What are they going to do? You know, how are they going to slow down Tulane's offense? I can't see it. I put my money on Tulane. I think line 6.5. Ole Miss is favored. I'd put it on Tulane. I'd take Tulane all day. I'm not a betting man, but that's what I do.
Put it on Tulane, he said. Y'all heard it here first. Kyle Hatcher is his name. If you win, send him the royalties. Put it on Tulane. All right.
Tulane has one of the best logos in college football too, man. I mean,
The green.
the whole green
wave.
they brought back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's classic.
Bad. Yep. Okay. That's a tough call for me too. I don't know. I don't say.
I know you love Lane. You love Lane. You think he's the greatest offensive mind of all
But
time.
man, yeah, I know. But you got to look at how fired up Tulane was. I got on the Tulane bandwagon last year. How they got fired up in the great season they had. You know, if they keep it up, that would be great. Could that be set up for next year? You know, it's going to be tough to keep that program. You know, keep it up for that year, but next year when the playoffs comes, when they go to the 12 teams. Could they keep it up and be as strong and get into the playoffs? I don't see it this year, but I don't know. We're looking ahead. We talking about Ole Miss and Tulane game, but I want to look to the future. How much can they keep this program up? Like, how much can he keep it up? And we'll see today. If he takes it, like you said, if they do that with Ole Miss, yeah, then you can get on the bandwagon and say, okay, Tulane's going to be great. But 45 points. What? How many did you say? 45.
I think they win like 52-45.
52. That's what you said. 52. Man. 52. I'm not calling 52, but I think they might play them close. But yeah,
I'm not saying they're going to score 52. I'm saying I can see that kind of game.
Oh,
I
got you. I got you. Okay.
Kind of game where Tulane wins. But I think Tulane's going to win anyway.
You mean the great Pete Golding? The great Pete Golding. You think that he's going to let them score 52 points?
Absolutely. He ain't gonna have no choice. I'm telling you, man, Michael Pratt's good. He is good.
Oh man.
I mean, think about it, man. How many times, over the past 5 years, Alabama won in spite of its defense. They rack up stats on the younger guy or on the weaker teams. But when you got Tua and Bryce and Mac Jones, you can score 50 points a game.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have to have perfect defense.
True.
And look, I get you're going to get that with Ole Miss too, but at least they could get some stops. But I think the way he does his matchup coverage with the man in the back end, Ole Miss don't have the guys for that, man. They just don't have the guys for that. So
True.
We'll see. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
I think it'll be one of the better games of the day today.
True. Yeah. All right. I don't see them 52, but I see it close. I still see Ole Miss pulls it out, but it'll be a close game. 35-31. 35-28. All right.
Yeah.
That's
I can see that
score,
too.
Isn't it? Man, here's a tough one. And I don't know, you're torn on this because you don't know how Miami's going to be doing. Texas A&M and Miami. I got nothing on this. It's just a game. But, man, they're calling for, Miami to – I've heard people say that Miami might win this game. You got two geniuses on one side there.
Yeah, I know. Well, who do you? I think the better question is, who do you think needs it more? Do you think Jimbo needs it more at Texas A&M,
No.
or do you think Mario needs it more at Miami?
Wait a minute, good question. I think both of them might be up there on top because Jimbo needs a great win, considering the hype and the his pay and everything. He needs it, but then again, yeah, you need that signature win at Miami to get Cristobal over the top because he's in the line like last year. He started out great. He's in that line of he needs a win or they're gonna be doing something. So yeah, I would say, man, that's a tough one. I think they're both on the 50-50 on both of them. Both of them need it, but I think it lies more on Jimbo because I think Miami can recover and win the SEC or win the ACC, recover from this game, and still win the ACC and still be good. But if A&M loses this game, I think it sets them back, and because they're wanting to win the season out there, and even though it is an out of conference game, they're still wanting that win. They want a national championship. So if they lose, if A&M loses to Miami, there's no hope for A&M to even get into playoffs. That's what I'm saying. I think. So, yeah, I think it falls more on A&M because they want a national championship now, because what they're paying him, I mean, they brung him over, and the bad years that he's having, it's not looking good for him. So they want this year. They want it either in the playoffs or, showing something. So I think it falls more on Jimbo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good storyline for today. I like A&M in that game. I don't think Miami. I don't know. I don't believe in Miami. I don't believe in A&M either. But I like Petrino a lot. I always have. As far as his offensive acumen, I can't see Miami getting enough stops on.
Yeah, the offense. I mean, you got to know Petrino's going to pull everything. Last week, yeah, it wasn't that much game. But this week, Petrino's going to want to show himself. This is Miami. He's going to show. I mean, hey, he's an offensive coordinator trying to get his name back in. Big school. Of course, he was at Kentucky school in Western Kentucky, I think, or anyways, he was there.
He went Western Kentucky to Louisville.
He went back to it, but he went somewhere after that, didn't he? Wasn't he at some smaller company? But anyways, yeah. And then, I mean, he's trying to get his name back out there. So yeah, he's going to pull out all the punches if Jimbo lets him loose. That's the question. But hey, why not?
Right.
You got a name brand offensive coordinator. That's why you hired him, right? But yeah, I think he's going to pull all the stops out.
I just can't see Jimbo getting out of the way.
You don't think he will, huh? That's what I talk about when we talk about last week. I mean, they're gonna butt heads eventually. This might be the game right here. Petrino may want to be it, and then here we go. What happened? Did I cut you off? No, still here. Yeah, were you here?
Hello.
There we go. All right, we back. I don't know what happened. All right. Okay. Got that. Let's go on down. Oh, we don't care about Iowa State. Tennessee.
Ugliest game of the day.
Are you calling for that? Are you saying that's the ugliest game, or you want the ugliest game? You want to give my pick?
If the under was 20, if the line for both teams to score was 20 points, I'd still take the under.
Yeah, I mean,
it's disgusting.
I mean, we own that college pick thing, and I was picking. I said, "Why in the world? Why am I going to pick this game? I just went any, mini, money, mo." I didn't.
I know, man. I know.
All right. So let's go down here. Tennessee and Austin Peay. Yeah. Okay.
No, UT, baby.
Oh, well, we got to talk about that. I mean, after North Carolina. North Carolina Upstate. We know North Carolina's going to win it, but hey, you got to talk about your buddy Gene Chizik, your former coach there. Look what he's doing.
Hey, man, I never would have thought they'd have that many sacks.
Dang.
Shocked me. I mean, they own that line of scrimmage in that game. Now, that was the same time as the Alabama game, so I didn't watch a ton of that.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it either, but, you're watching back and forth.
Jeez.
Or watching the scroll on the bottom. But I mean, do you think they would pull that one out? I mean,
yeah, I picked North Carolina. I thought North Carolina would win. I didn't think they'd hold South Carolina to negative -2 yards rushing.
Yeah, I was not expecting. I figured South Carolina would come after last year, fired up and just dominate. But wow, that disappointed me because that's how I call for my sleeper team. In the SEC this year. I mean, I figured they'd get that game, come fired up, this week, and then that next week when they go in play in Georgia. I mean, I figured, that's going to be tough. But now I'm changing my mind. But
well, that's what I said last week. New coordinator, new offensive coordinator coming in from Arkansas, Dow Loggins. It takes a little bit sometimes to connect with your guys. That's why I'm really curious to see how Alabama's offense looks today. Not because I think Texas is world beaters on defense, but Texas has been ready for this game all year. Since last year they let that one get away. They had Alabama. Bryce Young does what Bryce Young does, and they're going to be ready today. And Milroe's going to have to pass to win the game. So it's going to be interesting. I'm really, really curious today.
7.5 is the line. We'll be back and forth on that. All right. Yeah. Quinn Ewers is back while we're doing that, we'll just go ahead and talk about this game. Quinn Ewers is back after leaving last year's game against Bama with a shoulder injury, and he has full complement of receivers on the field who could give the Tide secondary very high on potential. But dealing with minor injuries, some problems throughout the night, Texas needs a statement win like this for the program's reputation and for a good early result before heading to the SEC. Alabama, a lot of new faces on this Crimson Tide team, including dual threat quarterback Jalen Milroe, who can run defenders out of position and is developing a touch for the longer passes. Working behind a line that looks improved and alongside a front seven that has the bodies to get after the quarterback. So, early in the season, though, and I know the offensive line of Alabama is big, but they're unproven right now. So yeah, you've seen that against Middle Tennessee, they couldn't run the ball. So yeah, who's got the more motivation in this game?
Yeah, I know.
That's the question, and it falls on Texas. That's sad to say, but Quentin Ewers, he went out the first half. What do you think he's going to be doing? He's going to come back. I mean, if he don't go out that game last year, I think Texas wins. So he's coming in to prove something this game. So motivation falls on Texas side.
I think Alabama's going to win. I think Alabama will cover.
7. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. Because I don't have confidence in Tommy Reese, and I don't have confidence Jalen Milroe can pass to win. I think they're going to turn Texas over a couple times. They're going to do something like that. That's how I see this game playing out.
You might see, Ty Butler come in for a little bit. I know he's the second one. Just to throw him off a little bit, try to shave it because they know. I'm sure they practice with Milroe with the running part, and then they got that set up, and they know he's not that accurate passing. So I think it's going to be a 2-quarterback. Saban's going to use a 2-quarterback day, but Ty Butler's going to come in for a couple of, I don't know if he'll play a lot or what, but they'll bring him in to throw the defense off because, you got to do something in this game. So,
well, Milroe had some great passes last week. He got the best throw of the night. He got hit as he released it. Now it's a 50-yard bomb, but they put that thing on the money. But if I was Texas, I'm running a spy on him all game. I'm gonna drop a safety down. I'm not even gonna let my linebackers, which they got a kid. Oh man, what's his name? Anthony Black or something like that. Top linebacker out of Texas last year. That kid he's very good. And I wonder if that's who they spy with. But I'd go man up on these Alabama receivers and make them beat you. Make them beat you, and see if Jalen can put the ball where it needs to be.
You got to bring it to him. Bring it. Yeah.
But I think
make him pass.
I like Peter Kwiatkowski, which is Texas DC. Very good defensive coordinator. Was defensive coordinator for Chris Peterson at Washington for a long time. With him at Boise State too. A very good defensive coordinator. Very good mind. Loves to do a ton of zone. He's very exotic. But he's got some dudes on that Texas defense, so it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm pretty excited about that game. Obviously, Bryant Denny will be loud, roaring. It's going to be a fun game to see what happens. But I think Alabama, in the end, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think they cover. But I just don't have confidence in Sarkisian. The guy's never won 10 games. He was at Washington. He took over. Washington was horrible when he took over, but he was at Washington. Then he went to USC. Say what you want about Lane Kiffin's USC tenure. They had guys. They were always recruited well. And Sarkisian couldn't do anything at USC. I'm not confident he's the guy for Texas long term. And we'll see. We'll see today if they can pull it out. I just don't have any confidence in him against Nick Saban. I didn't have it last year either, but it's not like he went and scored 50 points on Nick Saban's defense. So I think a lot of last year that game was Bill O'Brien. Who knows what he was doing in that first half of that game? And then Ewers obviously gets hurt, but that's why you play the game, man.
You play to win the game.
Right.
All right, here you go. Here's your good one. Your former favorite quarterback, Oregon, Texas Tech.
Oh man. Hey, Bo. If Bo's gonna win the Heisman, you gotta win this game, right? But I think I was shocked last week. Texas Tech was one of those. When we talked about our sleeper teams, I picked Kansas State, to get to the playoff, but I thought Texas Tech could be they could be somebody too, and I almost went with Texas Tech, and it just goes to show you, man, it's why they play the game. It's why they play the game. I mean, for them to lose to Wyoming, you're super disappointed in
And
that with Texas Tech.
how they lost.
So yeah, that's how they lost. Yeah. So for me, I think Oregon's going to roll in there. I think Oregon's going to win by 2 or 3 touchdowns myself.
Mm-hmm.
But both, I mean, there's no reason he's a fifth year starting quarterback. You know, he would be gone already if it wasn't for COVID. You know, he would have left last year. But COVID, they got that extra year, and you know, he should absolutely be in New York at the end of the year. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So he's going to get another big stage to play on, and I think he'll perform really well. I love Bo. All the Auburn fans who were trying to blame Bo for everything. It made me sick to my stomach.
I don't think it was much. Yeah, more of him now. You see, is the coaching. He would have been great, probably in quarterback, but then you see what was going. Well, and now you see what was going on down there. I think it would have been pretty good if he had Hugh Freeze now. God, can you imagine? I think it was more the coaching.
Auburn would probably people be talking about Auburn a little differently.
Yeah, I mean, if Bo Nix was still there.
His first year.
Yeah, I mean, wow. You would have a veteran quarterback, because other than I know Robert Alford is, but I mean, he would. Yeah, it would be awesome. I don't know. Sad to say, all right, but I'd kind of like to see what he could have done under a Hugh Freeze scheme or whatever, you know.
Me too, man. Me too. I mean, even Gus Malzahn's scheme at the end of his days, everybody knew what was coming. The passing game was never going to take off, and just the quarterback coach wasn't there. And I don't blame Bo for leaving. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of read between the lines now why he left after Harsin. They don't talk about inside of that stuff, but you got to put 2 and 2 together. You want to put your take on it, but you see maybe that. Yeah, I mean, the coaching had something. That gotta had something to do with him leaving, because you see what's going on. So yeah, but who knows? All right, here we go. The Big Trees against Stanford. I mean, the Big Trees against USC. I love their mascot, by the way, in case you didn't know. A big tree. Wow. Awesome, right?
Yeah. ACC powerhouse Stanford Cardinals.
Oh, wow. Oh, see. ACC
even when they were good, they didn't pack that stadium. I mean, it's one of those weird. It's just one of those weird things. But no, USC's gonna roll, man. USC's gonna roll. Stanford's gonna score on them though, but Stanford ain't gonna stop them.
Do you think what's his name has a great year like last year and he's up for the Heisman? Caleb. Yeah, he was last night. You there?
Yeah. Caleb Williams. They're gonna play some teams soon. Like I know they got Colorado coming up. They got a few other teams coming up. On their schedule. They got Utah. It's gonna be some. They got some defenses gonna play to be able to contain him a little bit, but Stanford ain't one of them. They're gonna roll.
Stanford is gonna roll.
No, USC. There you
go. I know what you said. I'm just messing with you. All right.
Funny. I don't want you trying to twist my words. Amy has to deal with that from you all the time. I'm not going to get
Amy just me turn twisting the words. My words.
That's right. I'm saying you twist Amy's words. I don't have to put up with it like she does.
Twist her words. I don't twist her words. I quote everything she says, because everything she quotes says is great and awesome, because she's a wonderful wife. All right. something else I had on. Last night's game, I didn't get to watch it or not. Illinois, who won that game?
Kansas did. It was 31-7 at one point, but they ended up winning 34-23. Bielema.
I was rooting
a
for
little bit. It took them a while to settle in. I didn't watch the whole game, but what little bit I got to see of it from the first half and second half, they finally turned the offense loose instead of slowing down the pace deliberately. And
30, yeah, they had it. Okay.
But yeah, Kansas was clearly the better team last night. I mean, it wasn't even close. They put the wood on them.
Yeah, I was rooting for Illinois on that game for some reason, but hey, it is what it is. Super hairdo man's on all 5 mile.
I thought Illinois would cover.
Mr. Rogers. Yeah. I think I went with it on our little pick thing we had. I think I went with Illinois because I figured they would cover the spread, but I missed that one, I guess. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at picking the teams on the point spread. I hate that. So you see, I'm probably gonna finish up on that one. It's pretty bad.
It's tough, but it's fun though. I like it because it gives it a little bit more a different challenge, and I enjoy picking off the spread.
Yeah, it gives you got to think a little more with the spread on that, and you got to define on what week before, week after. What are they going to do this week? Are they going to cover? Blah blah blah. I don't think Ball State's going to cover the point spread. I mean, I don't think Georgia's going to cover their point spread up against Ball State. That's 40. What was it? 41. 41 points. I think Ball State will give them. I mean, because Georgia's going to win, but I think Ball State's going to score a lot more points than they think they are. But yeah, I seen a stat the other day. I think it was the first. There have been 10 games 9 games are 0-9. Georgia's 0-9 against these under Power 5. They have not covered a Power 5 spread.
A group of 5.
Yeah, the group of 5, the lower, whatever they say. But they've not covered the spread on any of those teams. They're 0-9 since Kirby Smart took over. 0-9, not covered the spread.
They always tell you, and when you're doing pick'ems against the spread, you follow the trend.
That's why I said I think I'll go with it. I'll still go with it today. I know that's a lot of points, but on 40 something, yeah, I don't see them covering it. All right, I don't know. I wasn't prepared this morning, but next week it'll be better. But they're talking about the Texas A&M Alabama game now. We'll go to the NFL side, finish up with that, I guess. Man, that was a tough Thursday. I wouldn't expect Detroit pulls out a win against Kansas City.
I'm a big Dan Campbell fan, which is the head coach of the Lions. Love Dan Campbell, and I thought they would cover. And then before the game, when Travis Kelce went out,
I didn't know he went out.
I called one of my buddies and I said, "Hey, Detroit's winning, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna win. They're gonna find a way to win that game." And lo and behold, they did. And man, it's just awesome to have football back, man. It's just Detroit's gonna be good this year. I mean, they're going now. Kansas City also didn't have Chris Jones, one of the preeminent defensive players in the league from the D line. They didn't have him either, but man, I was really happy for Detroit. Dan Campbell, an awesome way to start.
Jared Goff. I'm trying to figure out who the quarterback
is. Hey, man. He delivered when he had to.
Hey, he did it. I gotta say it. He beat him.
I think for their team, them winning on defense, it's going to do something for their team. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that offense was expected to be really good, and them to get Kansas City in a 4th and 20 situation, and then their offense goes and gets the first down, running the ball down Kansas City's throat. I mean, that's the way. That's the way you want to win the game. So, hats off to the line, man. I told Cody. I said, said, that's it. I'm all in on Dan Campbell. Super Bowl bound, baby.
Oh Lord, Lions for Super Bowl. There you go. Oh man,
Absolutely.
it's funny.
I love the Lions, man. I really do. Dan Campbell, heck of a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, he showed it up Thursday night.
I wish the Falcons. I think about it all the time. The Falcons, because the Falcons hired out of the Saints organization for their GM, and I'm like, how did you not go hire Dan Campbell? Like, this guy worked under you guys for years, and just when they hired Arthur Smith, Dan Campbell, fantastic coach, man, fantastic coach.
Yeah, and you're probably gonna say that. I don't know nothing about him, but hey, he doing his job. He won his game, beat Kansas City. All right, folks, I'm gonna have to cut this short for you because we gotta take Skylar on her birthday little trip. So,
all righty, sir. Have a great day. All right.
Headed to the trampoline park. It's been fun. I'll be more prepared next week. So, it's been good. Oh, don't give up on me yet. So, we'll do it next week if you want to. Still, I mean, we'll get better with this. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Love you, man. Have a
All
good
right,
day.
bud. We'll see you. Thank everyone. All right.